the fact of the matter is, friends, and I'm sorry if this is news to you, there are situations in which people will harm you in ways that you cannot understand. And indeed, when you will suffer in ways that you cannot understand. And those situations are devastatingly painful. They are the greatest challenge to any human being's kind of well-being and sort of mental sanity, right? We've all been through this, or if we haven't, we will. I'm afraid, the sense that we really cannot fathom why it should be that things are so broken, that our relationships have suffered these terrible betrayals, right? And that is exactly the kind of thing that we need to reckon with if we're going to have a robust idea about what joy really is, right? Every human being is going to come up against this need for aphesis, right? This requirement to let go of the just incomprehensible attack, right? To let go of the incomprehensible wound. I said before, we've all met somebody that can't stop stewing in his past wrong, in the pain of his grievance, which may be very real, right? One of the important things about the distinction between, understanding and true gospel forgiveness, between sungnome and aphesis, one of the important things about it, right, is that gospel forgiveness, aphesis, does not require you to give up your sense that what was done to you genuinely was wrong, right? In fact, it's almost the premise of Christly forgiveness, that what was done to you was in fact wrong, right? And so we all know the person who can't let go of that fact, right? Who can't release from his mind the fact that she cheated on him and she just shouldn't have. And that's true, right? And one of the things we note about this is that despite it's having a certain sense of rationality to it, it's a disordered rationality. It's like an extremist rationality that traps the mind, right, in this forever pain, in this wound that just gets gnawed on and gnawed on and gnawed on. And the only way, right, the only thing for that person, for the person who's been wronged to do in order to be set free is to truly say, this happened, right? This hurt, this wasn't right, and that's okay. I forgive you, right? And I even didn't quite say it right there, right? It's not okay, right? There's nothing okay about the worst things that people do. But even so, even if it's not okay, even if I can't understand, nevertheless, I will make it of no account. I will put an end to the recrimination and to the constant rehearsing in my own mind of your wrong that you have done me. We saw this, I think, when we talked about the Oresteia. I mentioned Botham Jean and the horrifying and fearsome forgiveness that happened in that courtroom. You can go back and listen to that episode, and it's impossible not to hear with a certain kind of sorrow the voice of God speaking. Or when Dylan Roof's, when the survivors of Dylan Roof's violent spree came and forgave him, right, in his, I guess it was in jail, and you say, they listed the things he had taken from them. They said, you've done this, you've taken this for me, and this for me, and this for me, and I forgive you, right? And they wept as they did it, right? The pain of that is unimaginable. It's exactly commensurate to the pain of of the thing that was done, right? But unlike the pain of the grief that you've suffered, the pain of forgiveness only lasts a moment, right? And then it is let go. And this is, the secret, right? This is the grand secret of aphesis, is that it is the only way to be free. Doesn't mean you're going to let that person back into your life. Doesn't mean, by the way, that you're going to, upend the justice system out of a misplaced understanding of how this kind of forgiveness works. Doesn't mean even that you're going to like this person very much or trust them again with any kind of responsibility. What it really means is that you are promising to hold this for yourself as of no account. And the reason that you're doing it, going back to that Lord's Prayer, right? Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us, is because we know that in the sight of God, if in no other way, we are all of us in need of exactly this kind of forgiveness. We all of us don't do the things that we know we should do because they're good and will bring us joy, right? Leaving the hard questions aside, just thinking about, like, what if I, did good to somebody today? What if I took it upon myself to visit an ailing friend? I might even really like that and feel good about it. God offers that to me and I don't do it. we know that we do this all the time, that we always fall short in that capacity. And so we know that we are in need of aphesis from God. And that is why we practice it, right? Even with those who hurt us in that same way, the way that we cannot understand.